afternoon. Welcome to another edition of the Social Security Hotline brought to you on CAN TV. This is the Social Security Administration live TV hotline where we are celebrating the past and building the future. Good afternoon. My name is Dolly Robinson, and I'll be your host for this edition of the Social Security Administration Hotline on CAN TV. At this time, we want to introduce our special guest this afternoon, and we want her to introduce herself, and then we'll get right to our topics.
Good afternoon. My name is Josephine Stutzman, and I am a claims representative from the Chicagoland area, and I'm very excited to be here with you all today.
And we're excited to have you.
Thank you.
This is a live interactive call-in program. We're asking you to please get those questions ready and call in to our station. The number is on your screen, area code 312-738-1060. Again, that number is 312-738-1060. And we have Maribel Marquez, who is our phone technician, and she will be screening our calls for today. On each broadcast that we have for the Social Security Hotline, we try to talk about topics of interest to our public. So today our topic is going to center around disability and supporting our wounded warriors. We also will talk a little bit about Social Security benefits when a person moves overseas or out of the country. But first of all, we want to briefly talk about some of our electronic services such as MySSA and why it's such an important financial tool for planning for retirement and other financial interests. We also want to mention one of our latest features, which is our Social Security account numbers that can be put online. So these are the most popular online topics, and we'll start with that. So Josephine, you want to talk to us a little bit about those?
Absolutely. So we want to begin with the MySSA account, and that's the My Social Security account that we all have access to an account online, specifically catered to us because it's connected to our Social Security number. So we create our accounts. We all have access to this account. We just have to go online and get it started. It doesn't matter what your age is. You can, as long as you are 18 or older, you can create your online account. I personally have an online account.
Yeah,
I love it.
Too.
It's a great resource, great tool to have. It's never too early to prepare for your for your future, for retirement, to get retirement estimators, to see a disability estimator, and to also check your earnings record, because that's very important to make sure that our earnings are being posted to our Social Security record. So you can access your free My Social Security account online. It allows you immediate access to your personal SSA information. You can get instant access to a statement online. So if you are receiving Social Security benefits, you can print out a benefit verification letter. It shows how much you receive monthly from Social Security. You can also change your address information. You can update your routing and account number if you change banks. You can also get a 1099, which shows what you received from Social Security annually. And you can also file, you can go onto our websites and you can file online. If you go to www.socialsecurity.gov, you can file for retirement, you can file for disability. On our website, you can also pull up retirement calculators, so you can get estimations for your Social Security benefit to see what that benefit would be.
And we put the that information up on our screenshot. Our online services are at Social Security, www.socialsecurity.gov, or our 800 number is 1-800-772-1213. We also have our telephone automated services that are available to you 24 hours a day. Okay. So now that we've talked a little bit about our online services, we know that Veterans Day was last week. We had a good day off, and we all celebrated our veterans. We thank all our veterans that are out there in the audience today for their service to our country. and we want to do everything possible to get you those benefits that you so deserve. And so we honored our nation's brave men and women who risked their lives to protect the lives and the freedoms of our country. And it's also important to mention that SSA honors them by giving them the support they deserve. We have a lot of veterans that work for our agency. We recognize them. They're up on our websites, and when we see them, even in our offices, we thank them for our service, for their service. A vital part of this is administering the SSA Social Security disability programs. And for those who are returning from the war zone or from the armed forces that have disabilities, SSA is a resource so that they can turn to us for disability benefits. Now, Josephine, can you tell us and give us some information where a veteran may be able to go to get information? Is there a website or some place designated for them?
Yes, there is, Dolly. You can find the information on ssa.gov/wounded warriors. This website has answers to many commonly asked questions and information about disability benefits, including how veterans can receive expedited processing of disability claims. We also have benefit planners that people can use on this website. Lots of information for our veterans on this website.
Yes, it's important to point out that benefits through Social Security are different from those that are available through the Veterans Department of Veterans Affairs. Those are like two separate programs, and the veterans would have to apply to both agencies in order to be eligible for benefits from both Social Security and from the Department of Veterans Affairs. Can you explain a little bit about the expedited process of these claims?
Yes, the expedited process is used for military service members who became disabled while on active military service. These after or on October 1st of 2001, regardless of where the disability occurred.
You must also be approved for these benefits now, even though a veteran may be wounded or they may have lost a limb or something of that nature. They still must go through the process and be approved, and they have to meet Social Security's definition for disability, which means they must be unable to work and do substantial work, which now that substantial work is what, $1,370 per
Yes.
month. They must not be able to work at that level, and they must meet the definition of disability, which means that they have an injury, mental or physical, that's expected to last 12 months or more, or it result in death, and so we don't want to think about that. But some injuries are life-threatening. And so normally, how long does it take to get a decision once a person files a claim?
Well, the length time can vary depending on several factors, like the nature of the disability, how quickly medical evidence is obtained, and whether it's necessary to send you for a medical exam.
Those things do vary because, say for example, a person may come into the office and have medical records, and this would have a really good effect for them filing their claim because we're starting off with some medical records that our disability determination section doesn't have to send and get, and the information that's brought in may be enough to make a decision.
Yes.
And also, we put a special indicator on the record when we send the claim in, and this alerts our disability determination section to look at this case in an expedited manner. Again, we're waiting for your calls to come in at area code 312-738-1060, and we will answer whatever questions you have out there about Social Security. Okay, Josephine, what are some of the filing options? How can they file these claims?
Well, the most convenient way to file a claim is going online. If you
Of
visit our
course,
website,
of
that's the
course.
most convenient way. You can file for retirement, you can file for spousal benefits, you could file for disability benefits, and you can file for Medicare benefits. So that is the most convenient way to file. You can file at in the comfort of your own home. You can also call us and make an appointment at 1-800-772-1213. That is 1-800-772-1213, and you can set up an appointment at your local field office so that way you can complete your application with a representative at that office.
Yeah, we know that many people like to, they're not able to use computers, especially if they have problems with their hands or vision or any of those kind of things. And so we do still offer that face-to-face contact in our office. We also kind of would like for people to file teleclaims where they
Yes.
can have their claim taken by phone. That way they do not have to physically come into the office, but they will still get the same type of service that they would if they came into the office.
Absolutely, and they can also mail in an application as well.
Yes, and many times we get the question, do I need a lawyer? What would you say to a person that says that?
Well, that's up to their discretion. That's their decision if they want an attorney involved. But with Social Security, we do the best we can to handle their claims and their applications. But that is definitely an option that they have, and that's up to their discretion.
Right, and they would be, if they asked us, we just tell them that they could get their own lawyer, and we don't recommend any legal services for them. And many of our clients do get attorneys. So that is their option. We don't try to persuade them one way or the other, but that question does come up quite often. Now, people might ask, how can they speed up the process? We talked a little bit about them bringing in whatever medical records they may have. So what are some of the other options they have for speeding up the process?
Well, as long as you have that information about all doctors and addresses of military site where records are kept. So if you were in the military and you're a veteran who is filing for disability benefits, you'll want to bring in those records. Also, you'll want to make sure you have your DD-214 if you were in the military. Make sure
Absolutely.
you bring that. Bring in your ID. So coming prepared is very helpful. Your previous year's W-2s can also be helpful as well.
And while they're waiting, they should report all changes. They should report changes in addresses. And many times we get people who file their claims and then they have additional medical information that they want to bring in. So we encourage them to bring that information in. We fax it directly into their electronic file, and our disability determination section gets that information right away, and it does help speed up the process. Now, we have 2 different disability programs. And many people are confused about those 2 programs. We have SSDI and SSI. So can you explain the difference in those programs and what those programs are about?
Yes. So SSDI provides benefits to disabled or blind individuals who are insured by workers' contributions to the SSA Trust Fund and have paid into FICA taxes. The SSI makes cash assistance payments to aged, blind, and disabled individuals, including children who have limited income and resources.
Okay, so those programs, basically both of them, we must stress that both of them have to, an individual has to be found disabled in order to qualify for either one of the programs.
Correct.
The difference in the programs is that one is based on need and you don't have to particularly have worked, and the other one is based on your work record. I see that we have a call coming in. Caller, go ahead with your question or comment.
Good afternoon. My
afternoon.
question is, Should I worry about Social Security being available when I retire? Right now I'm 30, and I'll probably be retiring probably in the next 30 years. Do you think that it will still be available for me?
Those questions are always of concern to individuals. As far as we know, the trust funds are they are they're pretty stable right now. We don't know what the current administration or administrations in the future will do with Social Security, but Social Security will be available for individuals when they reach the age of age of retirement or the age of disability, or when they are no longer able to work. So our theme since 2015 is celebrating the past and building the future. So we are always looking out for the future of Social Security. Those who work in our national office out in Washington, D.C., they're always making sure that everything is in place to make sure our younger workers are covered for Social Security and the things that they have paid into the system, that there will be some form of Social Security available when individuals who paid into the system reach the age of retirement or when they no longer able to work. Thank you for your call.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thanks for calling. Yeah, that was a very interesting question.
Very.
Yeah, people are concerned about will Social Security. I hear this very often.
Yes.
Will Social Security be around when I'm ready to retire? We're confident that some form of Social Security will be around. We don't know if it'll be still the same type it is at this point, but they are working on making sure that the benefits are available for people who have paid into the system.
Correct.
Okay, now getting back to our question about the difference in SSI and Social Security. Now, how is Social Security paid? How is that different from SSI? Are they paid from the same funds or?
They're paid from two different funds. Social Security is funded from the FICA taxes that we pay, the work earnings that we pay into Social Security, and SSI is based on need. These funds come from general tax revenues, the SSI.
And SSI is a cash payment, and Medicare is not associated with your SSI payments. Some people that are on SSI, they come in the office and want to know about getting Medicare benefits for their health insurance. But for SSI individuals who are disabled or blind or age 65, at age 65 they're eligible for the uninsured Medicare, which when they get 65 they should come into the office and file for that. But younger individuals, they're not eligible for Medicare at the point that they become disabled. However, how does Medicare work for those who are on Social Security disability?
Well, after someone has been on Social Security disability for 24 months, 2 years, at that point they become eligible for Medicare benefits. And you'll automatically get a Medicare card in the mail stating that you are covered for Medicare Part A, which covers 80% of emergency hospital visits, and Medicare Part B, which covers 80% of regular doctor's visits. That Medicare Part B does have a premium associated with it. This year the premium is $121.80 a month, so that automatically comes out of the Social Security benefit. And next year in 2017, we're not sure exactly what that amount is or that premium is, but that will be updated on our website at www.socialsecurity.gov. But once you have been on the Social Security disability benefit for 2 years, you become automatically eligible for the Medicare Part A and Part B. If you choose not to or to refuse the Medicare Part B, you can always send back that card and state on there that you are refusing the Medicare Part B.
Oh, do you think that's a good idea, Josephine?
Well, if you refuse the Part B, when you're eligible for it, and you are not currently employed and insured, or you're not covered under a spouse who is employed and insured, and you decide you want that Part B later on, then you would have to apply or enroll during a general enrollment period. And that general enrollment period is January, February, or March of any year. And your Medicare Part B would start in July of that year. So it would be a little bit longer of a wait if you decide to refuse it and you don't fall into a special enrollment period, which is for individuals who are employed and insured through their employer's group health plan, or their spouse is employed and they're insured through their spouse's employer's group health plan.
And then what about that penalty?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes. So there is a penalty for individuals who choose to enroll during a general enrollment period and they're, say, past age 65. That penalty is 10% per year.
10% every year
Yes.
that they
Do not have
do
the
not
Medicare.
have the coverage.
Mhm, the
Exactly.
coverage.
And that can be very expensive. So when a person comes in and wants to withdraw their Medicare, we try to caution them about that to make sure that that's the decision that they want to make at that time. Okay, so now once a person starts receiving disability, are they ever allowed to go back to work?
Oh, absolutely. We have many work incentives that beneficiaries can take advantage of, but you must remember to report wages for work from work. You can visit a work site at Social Security's website for the details. So it's very important to always report your work.
Yes, and Social Security has an entire website that is dedicated to work incentives, and that website is www.socialsecurity.gov/work. And if you put that in, it will bring up all the information, including that famous red book that we have, and it lines out all of the work incentives that Social Security has, including the 9-month trial work period, expedited reinstatement, and it just lines out all of those things about how going back to work will affect your disability. We even have a booklet called Working While Disabled, and they can request that booklet online by going to our website, and it will be sent directly out to you. So if you're on disability and you're thinking about going to work, make sure that you contact the Social Security office. Make sure you contact us at 1-800-772-1213, or visit our website or come into the office so that you can get that first-hand information about going back to work before it starts affecting your benefits. And many times people are confused about the SSDI and going back to work and the SSI, and they do work differently. And so do you want to tell us a little bit about the differences?
So for the SSDI, individuals can go back to work, and there is a limit on substantial gainful activity. The limit for this year in 2016 is $1,310. That's the SGA, substantial gainful activity amount. Individuals who decide to go back to work and are disabled and they make an effort to go back to work have a trial work period. There's a 9-month trial work period. Do you want to go over some of the SSI differences?
Do the SSI. Now, many times we have individuals that come in that are on SSI, and they said, I was told that I could go back to work and make $1,300. Well, for SSI individuals, your wages count half of whatever it is you make. Say, for instance, you make $1,000. We'll count $500 minus the exclusions, which is $65. So we will count that, and then we will reduce your SSI payments by that amount. And at least if you tell us ahead of time, you will not be overpaid. So we stress that anyone who wants to go to work, make sure you contact Social Security so that you don't wind up with a $10,000, $15,000, $8,000 overpayment that will really reduce your benefits. We understand that we're just about out of time. Oh my goodness, we didn't get to talk about being out of the country and receiving benefits. But at this time, we will not be able to take any more of your calls. All those who thought they wanted to call and didn't call, we will not be able to take your calls today. But we will be back at the same time on the same station here at KNTV 21 on cable, on your cable network. We will be able to take more of your calls at that time. So on behalf of the hotline team, myself, Dolly Robinson, Josephine Stutzman, and our phone technician, Maribel Marquez, we thank you for tuning in, and you have a good, safe afternoon.